live on TalkSport 2. England in action later on TalkSport at St James's Park. And then you can get in touch with the Sports Bar, 03717 223344 later tonight, where you can have your say ahead of Euro 2024. Ball in by McGinn from the inside left channel, headed away by Bernardo Lopez for Gibraltar. Well, you have to feel for Gibraltar now. They're behind again, and their run without a clean sheet continues, and they'll be sat back behind the ball for the last half an hour or so once more, as Johnny gets a tackle in and Scotland get a throw in the left wing position. You'd think Gibraltar will also start to wilt a little mentally now. They put a lot of effort into the first hour, and they've conceded, and that should open some more gaps for Scotland.
Well, that defensive unit of Gibraltar's just getting deeper and deeper. You know, I think Scotland have, you know, got a little bit of speed in their play. The ball's moving a little bit quicker, albeit they're still working very hard without the ball. Gibraltar making it very difficult.
Gilmore's lofted crossfield ball, left to right, chested down by Christie. His little touch poking it infield on his left foot, doesn't find Shankland. Scanlon was back to clear there for Gibraltar, but McCrory with good industry is there to win the ball back. Scotland camped inside the Gibraltar half as we welcome listeners from TalkSport. Scotland lead in Gibraltar by a 1-0. The goal has been scored by Ryan Christie. Scotland predictably have been bombarding the Gibraltar goal throughout the backing until Christie finally found the goal-scoring touch to put them in front. Former Scotland striker Chris Iwelumo's alongside me.
Yeah, it's been a good performance with the ball, been dominant. A lot of good chances created that they should have done better with. You know, I think that you can see the confidence. It's picked up a little bit even after the goal. You know, I've got to say Gibraltar, two banks, everyone behind the ball have defended very well. Blocks, go and winning that defensive header, but still with the chances created, it should be 3, 4 or 5 goals here this evening.
All of this for Scotland about building up to that opening game of the Euros against the hosts Germany. We'll be live inside the stadium in Munich, live on that opening game of the tournament on Friday the 14th of June. And every game at Euro 2024 is, of course, live on the TalkSport network. 63 minutes gone, and Scotland very nearly through there as Gilmore looked for Shankland. Gibraltar cleared. It's Gibraltar 0, Scotland 1. And Gibraltar on the attack here with Debar to El Hamidi, who's only 10 yards from the edge of the penalty area. Good ball to his left and the teenager Scanlon. Edge of the box, back now to Walker. El Hamidi again, just a one effort on goal for Gibraltar over the course of the entire game. It does surprise me, Chris, that on the couple of occasions they've had possession inside maybe the midway point of the Scotland half, they've gone backwards. They've got all the way back over the halfway line. You do think they're hardly going to ever get efforts in on goal playing like that. Why not just scoop the ball into the box and see what happens?
Yeah, you're spot on, especially when Scanlon there, he's 1v1 with Porteous. Take him on, you know, get yourself in the box, and then it's difficult for him to make the challenge, but at the minute very easy for them just to come back and try and keep possession. You've got to remember, Joe, they're spending a lot of time in this game without the ball, so straight away it takes a lot more out the body, mentally, physically as well, when you're chasing all the time. So, but they still have to be brave enough to ask those questions when they get into the right areas.
And Scotland have won it back with McCrory. Midway inside the Gibraltar half, Gilmore strokes the ball right to left, about 15 yards square to Robertson. Further towards that far side left touchline is Forrest, who cuts infield onto the right foot. Lays it back to Gilmore. And nearly 20 minutes into the second half, and it's with Christie on the edge of the D. Christie the scorer. Wide left to Robertson again, left on edge of the penalty area. That's a poor cross from the Liverpool man, the Scotland captain. Overhit, out of play. There'll be some substitutions here, I think, certainly for Gibraltar. And indeed a couple of changes for Scotland as well. Here comes Kieran Tierney on in place of Andy Robertson. So Scotland will stick with the back four. Tierney for Robertson and Che Adams as well. And will it be a straight swap for Shankland, I wonder? No. Forrest is going to come off. What do you make of it, Chris? Double change?
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. You know, I think you're looking at players that, especially Che Adams, need to get minutes in the leg. You know, Kieran Tierney for Robertson, yeah, light for light down that left-hand side. I think Forrest, yeah, I think he's come on, he's done well, he's had opportunity, he's been creative, he's worked hard, especially with the heat here tonight as well. So no, it's positive all round. Can Che Adams go on and bring something a little bit different, have that understanding with Shankland as well? That's something that we've not really seen too often that understanding, that relationship, because there's going to be opportunity that they have to play together as well.
And here are the changes for Gibraltar as well. Cian Ronan, who plays for Kings Lynn Town, replaces the 17-year-old, the Manchester United player Scanlon, and off goes the number 9 El Hamidi. And it's a chance for 42-year-old Lee Casciaro, who scored against Scotland at Hampden, the only goal that Gibraltar have ever scored against Scotland to date, and only comes at the age of 42. Chris, he's not doing bad.
Not bad at all. Fair play. Fair play.
So 1-0 Scotland lead, most importantly, and that double change, and Tierney has gone across towards the left-hand side, the left-back position as you'd expect. And Adams has pushed into the central striking role, and Shanklin looks like he's dropped slightly deeper, almost into the number 10 position, Chris.
Yeah, but he knows that role, Shanklin. You know, he's very comfortable showing up and trying to hold play up and linking, so I think that's an important one.
Well, Kieran Tierney's gone down straight away. Not a good challenge by DeBar. We know that Kieran Tierney is a player who's struggled for several seasons now with injury. You've seen it again on our little monitor, Chris.
Yeah, it's a sore one. You know, it's just the studs just came down right on the ankle bone as well.
Good to see he's okay.
Yeah, he knew. You can see by the face when the monitor went on him there that yeah, it was a sore one, but he's up.
A 1-0 Scotland. Last quarter of the game, foul by DeBar, who, credit to him, has chased everything. The player furthest forward for Gibraltar, but he sent Liam Cooper sprawling. That's an obvious Scotland free kick. It's probably about as comfortable a 1-0 as you'll ever see from a Scotland perspective so far. They will be frustrated not to have scored more, and maybe 2 or 3 more still to come.
And that's the question. I think you put yourself under pressure when you make these games. You know, it's there to serve a purpose. The performance has been good. Yeah, it's definitely got the obviously the work rate up for the players. You know, but you still want the other side of it. You know, creating chances, which they have done, putting chances away, which, to be fair, they haven't. But it's so important that the players have got the minutes in the bank as well, and take some sort of confidence, positives out of this performance.
Ball's with McGinn on the near side, the right. He's gone out to the right wing position, whips a lovely ball in left-footed. Shanklin couldn't get there, and it's gathered by the goalkeeper Hankins. In swinging ball from McGinn. Maybe just a touch overhit if you're being really critical.
Well, you have to be. You know, I think with the quality that McGinn's got, both right and left, if that's into the body, you know, the defensive line's always running back towards their own goal. If it's into the body, the likes of Che Adams or Shanklin can just hold that for advancing players just a sec to get a shot away. So it's important. That was definitely overhit there from John McGinn.
Stuart Armstrong, John Souttar and Scott McTominay not in the squad today. All 3 are injured. Steve Clarke has said that there's a chance that they'll play some part against Finland, and ideally you want to give everybody minutes surely in the warm-up match that Scotland will have left after today. Just over 20 minutes to go here on the Algarve, and Gibraltar 0, Scotland 1 is the score. And the ball is with Porteous, just shy of the halfway line. Little touch wide to Gilmour, hugging the touchline near side the right is McCrory back to Gilmour again. It's been a useful workout this for Scotland, and that ultimately is the most important purpose of a game like this in the build-up to a major tournament. And of course you want to make sure that you get through it without sustaining any injuries either. Good tackle by Sargent of Gibraltar, one of the centre halves, on Shanklin, but just as quickly Scotland inevitably are there to win it back.
Well, I'm just looking at, you know, the likes of when McCrory and Tierney, they come to show for the centre back. The defender comes out with them with full back. That leaves space in behind for the likes of John McGinn and Christie to ask those questions, because they do it. Look, John McGinn's in that area just now. It should be a little clip into the channel.
Little ball over the top by Gilmour, as if to illustrate that. Inside right channel, Che Adams is there, kept it in play. Wasn't the best of passes by Gilmour. Gibraltar have cleared only as far as Gilmour and live with the edge of the 18-yard area, very tenacious as ever. Little ball square and infield has run to the feet of Kenny McLean. McLean pings it to his left. Easy for Tierney to get possession under no threat whatsoever. He's just got past Casciaro like he's not even there. Great cross, high to the far post. Well dealt with by Brito. Didn't really attack it with any great gusto there, John McGinn nor Adams at the back post. McGinn has turned away neatly from Brito though. He's into the box down by the dead ball line, held up. Back out wide to McCrory. First time cross towards Adams, headed away. Good header that by Bernardo Lopez again. It's with Gilmour. Goes back to the halfway line. A frustrating afternoon in a sense for Scotland that they haven't scored far more than just the single goal. Tierney infield to Christie. Little glancing touch back to Kenny McLean. And Gibraltar, as you say, Chris, even deeper now. They're really defending the edge of the 18-yard box. They've got no attacking intent at all. They've worked very hard. They're visibly tiring now. And Casciaro is the sub who's come on, not really up with the pace of the game at all. He's committed a foul. And actually the referee here with 19 minutes to go, I think, has said, let's have the drinks break in the second half. He has done that. So where are we, Chris? 1-0 Scotland. What have they got out of this game so far?
From a player's point of view, it's an excellent run out, you know, in the heat, getting the minutes in the legs, showing some nice touches with the ball, creating chances, getting into the right positions to get on the end of those chances. Now, from a media and a punditry point of view, yeah, they're going to get criticism because they've not scored the regular
5 or 6 or whatever.
Yeah. But you know, from a player's point of view and from a manager's point of view, he'd have seen enough. It's a good workout in this temperature as well. Yeah, they've got into position to create good opportunities. We want to see more goals because that's what's going to put points on the board and get you through to the next stage. And
a lot of the talk coming in was about no Lyndon Dykes. You look at replacing him, as you say, Che Adams is the one who's still likely to start anyway, but that talk about goal scoring and the central front man, it's going to dominate again, isn't it? That problem hasn't really gone away.
Well, it has. It hasn't at all. When you're looking at the likes of Scott McTominay, John McGinn leading the line, being the main threats for us, but I think that with Scotland, that's a role of that striker. You have to be selfless. Yeah, you have to bring goals now and again, but you also have to create and bring others into play, and that's why McGinn and McTominay have been outstanding for Scotland on the goal front.
Here come a couple more Scotland changes. Off goes Billy Gilmore, Ryan Jack taking to the field, and Callum McGregor of Celtic is going to come on as well, and Kenny McLean is the other man who's been replaced. The two defensive midfielders have come off.
Well, just like for like, you know, Callum McGregor, great to see him back in great form as well. Ryan Jack, you know, I think this calendar year 13 minutes he's played, so definitely another one that needs the minutes. And I mean, a fantastic technical player, can do everything very, very well, can control box to box if he needs to be, but he just sits in front. Very, very good technical player. His distribution is excellent. It's just good to see him out there again.
Well, he's gone forward straight away for the free kick. Ryan Jack just left Rangers, of course, after an injury hit final season at the club. The 7 years he spent with Rangers. And John McGinn stands over the free kick. Plenty forward here for Scotland. 1-0 they lead, so we've had the little drinks break. And there'll be 16.5 minutes plus any added time to go. Scotland from left to right towards again one of the empty ends of the stadium, whipped in by McGinn to the back post. Ryan Jack is there, first touch to pull it back, and it's scooped over the top by Shankland. Not an easy chance with his back to goal, tried to hook it over his shoulder, but miles too high.
Yeah, he's been feeding off scraps tonight, hasn't he? You know, it's Ryan Jack that actually keeps the ball alive and does the right thing, you know, but it's just behind him there. Shankland is, you know, you got to gamble, so you either try and go on the front foot or you hang back, you know, and he was kind of stuck in between there, Shankland, but he has been feeding off scraps. But again, it's one of those, you know, you have to keep going, you have to keep doing the right things, and that opportunity will just present itself, and then that's the moment that you're going to be judged on. 22
attempts on goal for Scotland. One has found the back of the net. Gibraltar with Debar, right wing position, tried to dart infield in between two white Scotland shirts, and at the end of it all, Cooper's gone down injured, it looks like. Cooper and Debar have collided. Could it be a knee problem? It looks like a knee problem for Cooper. Yeah, it's a thundering collision between him and Debar, right onto the right knee of Liam Cooper, and you don't see Liam Cooper go down very easily at all. He has done now, though.
No, you don't. That's a straight on knee to knee, isn't it? You know, I think if anything, it'll be knee and just a dead thigh there for Cooper, but he looks in a lot of discomfort. So hopefully he'll be all right. But his foot wasn't grounded, so hopefully it's not jarred.
15 minutes to go here. I've just seen a replay on our monitor in the commentary position of the half chance at best for Shankland back to goal, trying to almost hook it over his shoulder, overhead kick style, but couldn't keep it down. I think it spun off his shin. And for all the chances Scotland have had, I mean, Handley could have had a hat-trick in the first half. We saw Kenny McLean, Christie, who has scored eventually, maybe should have scored before that. In fairness to Shankland, he's not had that that golden chance in front of goal at all, has he?
Well, that's it. It's just not fallen to him, and I think when Scotland are in good possession of the ball, Shankland's very comfortable in coming and showing up. Get yourself as close to the opposition goal as you possibly can, because the likes of McCrory and Christie or Forrest and Robertson down the flank is going to get into positions that they can give you the service that you want. So I think that's sometimes where you've got to be a little bit selfish, because that's what you're going to get judged upon.
Well, I think they're going to have to take Cooper off here, Chris, because the conversation between him and the physio looked to me to be like to be one where he's suggesting he can't continue. Gibraltar are going to make a change. Off goes the captain Walker, and on comes Evan De Haro. But much more importantly, from a Scotland perspective, Liam Cooper, the sub is about to be subbed, came on at half-time. And Scott McKenna, who spent the second half of last season on loan at Copenhagen from Nottingham Forest, to make sure that he got some football, because he's effectively frozen out of the Nottingham Forest setup, and maybe didn't expect to get some game time late on today, but he will get some game time, Chris.
Yeah, it's important. I think you have to be ready. I think disappointing one there. I don't think you want to take any chances if you're Cooper. If you want to play on, you want to get yourself off, get it looked at, whatever you need to do. But yeah, McKenna will be ready and steady away. He's one of those players. He's always a 7 or 8 out of 10, but he brings that aggressive quality, good with his head in both boxes, and from set plays, very, very important.
Now we hope, looking at Liam Cooper as he sort of trudges behind the goal, he's not being helped by the physio as he walks. He's limping a little bit. You'd like to think that's just a knock and you need an ice pack and a couple of days rest.
You'd like to think it's probably the physio as well that's probably in direct communication with the manager and his staff to say, let's just get fresh legs on, let's not take any risks, because it's already, with injuries, depleted squad.
You can hear the Tartan Army bagpipes. They'll travel to Germany in their numbers for the finals. They'll be there in Munich, we'll be there in Munich, live on TalkSport for the opening game. And Christie just went down momentarily there, but he's quickly back on his feet. Christie back to goal, 1-0 to Scotland, 12 minutes to go of normal time. You would TalkSport to them. Be quite a bit of added time here, maybe 4 or 5 minutes because of the injury to Cooper. And down goes Shankland on the edge of the box, no foul given by the referee.
He has to be stronger there, Joe. Shankland has to be stronger when it comes in. He's trying to hold it up, and he felt a little bit of contact on the back. Soft. Be strong. You've got control of the ball. Why look for a free kick there when you've got advancing players? Just put it into the path and go on with the game there. Don't look for little free kicks.
Well, Scotland, as Cooper gets applauded by the Scottish supporters. Lots of sunglasses on show. Lovely day for it in this part of Europe on the Algarve. And Scotland are going to end their run of 7 games without a win. First win since the 8th of September. Last year, and a victory in Cyprus in Euros qualifying. Really important victory, ultimately the last of the qualifying campaign. And those 5 wins from 5 to start that qualifying group were key for the Scots. And Cooper's spoken as well about, even against a team like Gibraltar, you get a clean sheet, that helps with confidence as well, doesn't it?
Well, you 5 wins out of 5, then you play England, Spain, France, so...
Yeah.
So I understand
that run away from home as
and
well.
You've already qualified, so there is going to be a little bit of a lull. You've done your job, it takes it out the squad, but mentally you have to get back to business, back to winning ways.
And being a strong defensive unit is going to be so key in that opening game in particular. Little touch in field, little deft touch by Christie, but he can't find a teammate. Tried to flick a little reverse ball into the path of Shankland. Scotland, good industry to win it back. Shankland and Adams in combination. Haven't really seen Adams at all involved since he came on. 10 minutes to go here, 1-0 Scotland lead.
So when you say that you've not seen Adams at all, it's when you're playing against two defensive units, look, everyone behind the ball. So as a striker, you've got to make your own space. You're very reliant on the service that you're getting. Whereas Shankland was coming out of that and coming and showing up, allowing the space for Christie and McGinn to get in behind, and even Billy Gilmore on occasion was getting into those areas. So Adams, he has to find a way, but against the likes of a Germany, a Switzerland, a Hungary, there is going to be space, but you're going to be playing higher, further away from the opposition goal and not getting so much of the ball, but you're going to have a lot more space to make things happen.
Jack, midway inside the Gibraltar half, wide to the near side. Porteous is making an underlapping run. Little touch in field by McCrory to find Shankland with his back to goal. Back out wide to Porteous. His first time cross is blocked, and then he's tripped by the retreating defender Olivero, who has now gone down, and the referee's given Scotland a free kick. I think it's hit Olivero where it really hurts there.
Yeah, it's a sore one. Ryan Porteous has just got away from him, and I think he's just came down on the heel of Porteous there.
Free kick to Scotland. Porteous will stay forward, and Scotland, can they add any further goals late on here? It doesn't look like being a really thumping win, but performance-wise, in terms of the way they've kept the ball, Scotland, the chances they've created, I think that's been a positive for them.
Definitely.
They should have scored more, but these matches are all about refining your players. McGinn takes a dreadful free kick. It is completely overhit, totally misplaced and behind for a goal kick, actually, without even bouncing.
So unlike him as well. I think he's given the little nod there for to make the run. I think it's Christie just trying, if anything, if you miss all the players, at least ask the question of Hankins there. If it's just coming into his goal with all the bodies running in front, if someone can get across the front and make a slight contact, steer it goalwards, then so be it. But it was nowhere near.
Goalkeeper Hankins will clear downfield. He's had a good debut, the Gibraltar goalkeeper, international debut for Jalen Hankins, who plays for the FCB Magpies in Gibraltar. A throw for Scotland in the left-back position. Tierney just shy of halfway, looks for options. They've kept going, Scotland, and they've been trying to score since minute 1, and that has continued even despite taking the lead. On another day, maybe they would have scored 6 or 7. McCrory, outside right channel, near side the right for Scotland, infield with a little square ball to Jack, and now McGregor the number 8, wide to the left, and Tierney looks up. We're in the 83rd minute now. Scotland from left to right. Tierney on the attack far side. Good cross is blocked at the near post by Casciaro. That will be a Scotland corner, number 9, in just a few moments. The referee is, I just thought for a second, was he looking to the near side touchline? I don't think there's any more changes for Scotland on the way imminently. England against Bosnia-Herzegovina later on Talk Sport. We'll bring you a full commentary of that. Make sure you download the app. It's free and easy to download ahead of the Euros starting. Christie, left-footed out-swinging corner, looping to the back post. Scott McKenna couldn't get there. Smuggled behind by Jolly, and Scotland's corner count now into double figures.
Yeah, I think if you're Steve Clarke and you're looking at it, I think with the ball, Scotland have performed well, shown real quality. I think chances created, they've done the same in this heat as well. Joe, it's been an excellent training exercise that they take a lot of positives from.
In swinging corner from McGinn is poor again. Easy for the goalkeeper, 6-yard box. He won't take an easier corner than that at Hankins, but Scotland have got it back immediately on the halfway line, and now the ball is at the feet of Tierney. Tierney, nice pass, threaded up the inside left channel, but Adams couldn't get there. Cleared away by Sargent downfield. I don't think there's been any real frustration from the Scotland supporters. I think they've enjoyed their afternoon, early evening largely. Of course, they'd have wanted to have scored more, but they've not exactly got on the backs of the players, and that's completely understandable. I guess the question for Scotland is, Chris, against Finland on Friday, can they be much more clinical than they have been tonight?
Well, they have to. I think if you're looking at a couple of individuals, I think they'll be a little bit disappointed with a performance. I think they'll feel afterwards that they could have done a little bit more to showcase.
John McGinn's cross, Adams thunders it into the back post. That's a clinical finish, and Shea Adams shows exactly why he'll surely be leading the line for Scotland in that opening game of Euro 2024. When it came his way, he rammed it home, and how. Gibraltar 0, Scotland 2.
Well, it's more like it. Adams just staying away from it. It's an excellent little ball, dink to the back post. He's watching it all the way, and he just puts the laces through it. We've got to say, I think it's McGinn, is it? It just turns. It's an excellent little clip from McGinn, and that's an excellent finish, isn't it? Watching the ball all the way, making sure the connection's right. The goal does not move, Joe. Right into the top left-hand corner. Fantastic finish from Che Adams there.
First Scotland goal since June 2022, and a player who had a great season in the Championship last year. Shea Adams earning promotion back to the Premier League with Southampton. There were rumours he might leave the club in January, so he comes into the Euros in good goal scoring form, and underlining that to make it 2-0 to Scotland. Confirmed victory And Gibraltar, meanwhile, are going to make a change. Off goes TJ DeBar, and Jaden Bartolo, who plays in non-league in England with Wilston, is going to replace DeBar. But for Scotland and Adams, it's again another reminder that he's going to be the main man through the middle in Munich on the 14th of June, no question. We'll get another word from Chris in a moment. Scotland are on the attack straight from kick-off. Christie's born into the box, takes a bounce, headed away by Brito for Gibraltar, and then it's thumped forward downfield. Good clearance away by Porteous as the ball was bouncing towards the edge of the Scotland penalty area. Yeah, great finish, Che Adams. You'd have been proud of that, Chris, as a front man yourself.
Yeah, it was an excellent finish, but 20 minutes on the pitch, you've got a goal. You know, what that will do to his confidence. It doesn't matter who the opposition is, it's an international goal, you know, and that's exactly what these games are for like you say, the strikers, offensive players to go out and do exactly that and get that confidence to take into the tournament.
2-0 Scotland.
You've been proud of that, Chris, as a front man yourself.
Again, fair reflections and all that. It's a little fairer. Realistically, you would think 6 or 7-0 would probably tell you the story of the game best, but Scotland at least a little more efficient there when McGinn found out.
I have to agree with that, but as a training exercise, you know, to go out there, get the minutes in the legs for certain players. You know, McCrory down this right-hand side, you know, I've been probably overly critical. You know, it is warm out there. He has got the ball. I think he can be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more direct when he gets the ball. Take your man on every time. Like now, open up and get at your man.
Here is McCrory, led with the edge of the 18-yard box, and now Ryan Jack in possession. Jack 15 yards from the corner of the penalty area, plays a square ball into a central area where McKenna's waiting. McKenna steered it wide left to the far side of the field. Tierney is one-on-one with Lee Casciaro of Gibraltar. 2 minutes of normal time to go. Tierney skips beyond Casciaro with total ease, pulls it back towards the middle of the penalty area, and it's turned behind for a corner.
And that's what I'm talking about. What does Kieran Tierney do there? He gets at his man. He takes him, runs him to the line, gets in behind. I've not seen McCrory do it once. You know, and he has that in his game. And Aaron Hickey and Nathan Patterson does exactly that, and they create off the back of it, Joe. And I understand, but this is his opportunity, isn't it?
Well,
to showcase.
I think we'll see Ralston on Friday night.
Yep. So if you know that as a player, should it not be more of an incentive to do exactly that and do what everyone else can do?
I get you.
Play safe.
No, it's a good point. A corner for Scotland, far side as we look at it. Ryan Christie will take it. It'll be left-footed, out swinging, heading towards the final minute of normal time. McKenna trying to get his head to it. The referee had spotted a foul. A free kick to Gibraltar. It's hard, isn't it, I suppose, for someone like Ross McCrory, because it's your Scotland debut as well. So is there an element, even against a team like Gibraltar, of you want to make sure you make no mistakes first and foremost?
Well, that is what it is. You're playing safe because you don't want to make the mistakes, but more often than not, you've still got to showcase what your strengths and qualities are. Now, he's a very good technical player. He has a fantastic engine. So it's all about, boom, every time he gets the ball, is he making something happen? And I think too many times he's came back and played safe.
Scotland throw, left back position. We're heading towards stoppage time now. 30 seconds of normal time to go. Kieran Tierney has been useful since he came on. And again, lots of questions for Steve Clarke. We'll get a little bit of time after the final whistle, a couple of minutes to have a word with Chris about it. Again, against Finland, does he change shape? Does he play with a 3? I guess it might depend on who he's got available. Do you look at a right wing back role for Ralston maybe? That's been talked about plenty in the build-up. Here's McKenna in the centre circle for Scotland. Now Porteous. Halfway line, 4 added minutes. What do you reckon, Chris? Do you change shape on Friday night?
I think you probably will. You know, I think you know, depending on who he has available for selection, you're looking at probably a Porteous, Henry, Tierney as the 3, and then a Robertson, and like you say, a Ralston down the right-hand side, with then a Callum McGregor. And to be fair, he has a pick who he wants it to be beside Callum McGregor.
Jack, corner of the penalty area, a little reverse ball for Shankland, who's standing on the dead ball line, tees it up for Christie to hang across up high to the back post, and it's well dealt with by the Gibraltar man Ronan, who flicked a header clear. 40 seconds into 4 added, and Scotland are 2-0 up. We'll have updates of that Scotland-Finland game. We'll keep you up to date into commentary of England against Iceland on Talk Sport on Friday evening. And then all attention turns to the tournament proper. Can't wait for it to get underway. These warm-up matches, though, are a really useful exercise, an intriguing exercise to see what sort of shape teams are in, and still decisions to be made for Steve Clarke. We don't know the final squad yet, of course. Here is McKenna in the centre circle, on to McGregor. Silky touch to find McGinn. Little flick back to Porter.
Yeah, the thing about the squad, Joe, as well, I was surprised that it was only a 28-man provisional squad. You know, with the possibility that injuries have happened with Lyndon Dykes, you'd have liked to have brought a few more personnel in. I know it's a harder decision for a manager when you've got to let players go, but this is part and parcel of it, isn't it? You know, players in the right frame of mind, the right body condition, they're with the group, and then, okay, if everyone is fit and available for selection, then that manager has those difficult conversations to have.
Well, 2 goals in the end for Scotland, and 2 fine finishes. Adams in particular, a thundering right-footed volley. And the Tartan Army are in a relaxed mood and a joyful mood into the early evening here now. About 90 seconds to go. There's a high foot from Adams on Sargent. And Gibraltar have tried their best to make it some sort of contest, and actually for an hour or so, even though Scotland looked inevitably like they would score, Gibraltar had frustrated them. But there was never really any doubt, even with Scotland's profligacy in attack in the first half. Poor touch by McCrory. And Gibraltar for a couple of question marks positionally for Steve Clarke. Patterson and Hickey would be shoo-ins to compete for the right wing-back position if they were fit. It's not the case. Ball in by Johnny for Gibraltar, and Zander Clark just watches that carefully into his grasp. He's probably had 5-6 touches over the course of the game, the Scotland keeper. He won't have an easier game ever in his international career.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Fantastic character, proper switched on. One of my old teammates at St Johnstone as well, Zander. Just a great goal. And that's what you need as well. You've got to remember when you're away in camp, it's so important that you've got good energy there. You know, big characters, big players like McGinn, who's the joker of the group, makes everyone laugh. It's needed because you're away, you're living in each other's pockets for weeks on end. Hopefully it'll be a good month out there.
Tierney, midway inside opposition territory. Now McGregor out to the left-hand side, and Christie, little touch by Adams into the path of Christie. It was a good move until the final pass. Cleared away by Sargent, high up over the halfway line, still bright and sunny overhead. As the referee brings a halt to the game, and Scotland have won with ease here in Gibraltar. 2-0 the final score, and the penultimate step on the journey to Euro 2024 is complete here for 2-0. I wonder really what we learnt about Scotland that we didn't know before the game. I'm not sure there have been any great surprises, but if nothing else, there have been minutes handed to players who will be important over the course of the Euros campaign. It is a first win in 8 in all competitions for Scotland, and a clean sheet as well. So, in most senses, job done for Scotland. The only question is over their first half profligacy in particular. They should have scored more, but it has finished Gibraltar 0, Scotland 2, and I think more positives than negatives overall going into that final warm-up match against Finland, and then of course the start of Euro 2024 against the host Germany on the 14th of June, Chris Wellerman.
Yeah, definitely a lot more positives. You know, the little knock, obviously Cooper, you know, that'll be a concern, but it's a good training exercise, got the minutes in the legs, controlled the game without really any defensive risk there. You know, yeah, if you're going to be overly critical, definitely should have scored more goals. Clean sheet, you know, people really put in some good individual performances in control of the game. And like you say, it's like, you know, you look at a Shankland, he'll be disappointed. He's McGinn, Scott McTominay and Ryan Christie, in my opinion. And that I think Steve Clarke already knows, albeit everyone's going to be available for selection, that'll be the team that starts against Germany.
And Liam Cooper did have to go off injured in that second half. It looked more like it was a relatively minor knock more than anything else. And again, another key thing about warm-up matches is that you come through it without injuries to any key players. And there will be changes on Friday against Finland as well. So they're in a decent position, aren't they, here, Scotland? But again, there'll be questions, won't there, about finishing ability, and there'll be more questions about whether Steve Clarke looks to bring in somebody like a Tommy Conway, maybe, with Lyndon Dykes out of the Euros altogether.
Well, I don't know if he's left it too late to bring in these types of players. You know, the championship season finished on the 4th of May.
Yep.
Joe, so you're thinking, what have those players done? You know, that's why I think they should be in the provisional squad, and there's more players.
Look, I don't think this game in particular tells us really anything about whether Scotland are going to get out of the group when it comes to the finals, but you're optimistic. It's a tough group. Germany, the holders, Switzerland, Hungary, lots of tournament experience, but you know what? Scotland will be better off for the experience that they got at Euro 2020 as well.
Yeah, they're not here just to make up the numbers. You know, I think they were left a little bit frustrated with the last Euros, you know, how things played out. I think they've got an opportunity to put things right, you know, in games where they've shown that they can be competitive against the best teams in the world, and that is what is needed. And on the day, they have to be a little bit of luck as well.
Chris, great stuff. We'll
Pleasure
see you
as always,
there.
Joe.
We'll see you there. Friday the 14th, Chris and I will be in Munich, live for the opening game of the European Championships. It's Germany against Scotland. Hope you can join us throughout the tournament. Of course, every game will be live across the TalkSport network. 7:45 tonight, England against Bosnia and Herzegovina, live on TalkSport from St James's Park. So kick off in just over 45 minutes time, and then after then, Scotland fans are very welcome to join the conversation on the sports bar from 10 until 1. The number that you'll need, 03717 223344.
Captivating coverage.
Oh, there's the header and it's in!
International friendly live
On TalkSport 2.
Hawksby and Jacobs on TalkSport with Toolstation. Unfiltered football debate done right.
Vatican City football team, Pep Swiss Guardiola.
Big hitting cricket comment done right.
Ricky Pontiff. No, yeah, cricket. You can't have cricket. No, you can't have cricket.
Knockout boxing opinion done right.
That was a classic.
Legendary. Entertaining afternoon radio done right.
Well, some would say it's absolute news.
Hawksby and Jacobs weekday afternoons from 1 on TalkSport with Toolstation for a job done right.
Get that Euro Millions feeling with this Friday's £108 million super jackpot. So super, you've got to dance. So let's dance like never before. On a beach, on your own private island. Euro Millions from the National Lottery. Play on app. Estimated jackpot, subject to currency fluctuations. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
That's not simple. That's not simple. Now that's simple. Hastings Direct Car Insurance is simple, because when life is this complicated, finding a great deal shouldn't be. Great cover, great price, and a great app makes us one of the UK's top choices when comparing car insurance online. Hastings Direct. Simplicity is the best policy. For verification, see hastingsdirect.com/verify.
McDonald's fries, you taste of paradise, and my love I can't disguise. Oh, McDonald's fries.
Thanks for the poem, Lisa. The fries you love now love you back. Introducing McDonald's Surprise Fries. Millions of tasty prizes to be won, including cash. Peel on any medium or large fries for a chance to win. End 2nd of July. App may be required. 18 plus. UK only. Served from 11 a.m. Terms apply.
This is the first royal podcast from The Times and The Sunday Times. This is a moment in the history of the royal family where good sense and care are needed.
It's also a time when a little humour is needed, and if both the King and the Prince of Wales can find something to joke about, so can we.
The Royals with Roya and Kate, a new podcast from The Times.
And The Sunday Times.
About the Royals.
Not about us at all.
No.
Well, maybe just a bit.
I think that's good.
Imagine having over 20 years of credit expertise in your corner. Well, with an Aqua credit card, you get exactly that. You get access to a team of experts and credit building tools like Aqua Coach. So you're supported every step of the way. Aqua, the smart way to build better credit. Search Aqua Card today. Representative 34.9% APR variable credit issued by New Day Limited, 18 or over, subject to status, terms apply.
Play Set for Life and you could. £10,000 every month for 30 years. Set for Life. Play now on the National Lottery app. Terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Online, on DAB+, and on the app.
This is TalkSport 2. On DAB+, online, via the TalkSport app, and on your smart speaker. The Monday Club on TalkSport 2.
Hello and good evening. I'm Adrian Clark and this is the Monday Club on TalkSport 2. Rory Jennings is alongside me and there's so much to get through over the next hour. England are just about to get underway against Bosnia this evening, but who should make the plane to Blankenheim? And will England ever have a better opportunity to finally win a trophy than right now? Meanwhile, Enzo Maresca is the new Chelsea manager. Is this the right move for both parties? Is Pep's former student the perfect man for Stamford Bridge, or could it be a step too far for the Italian? And it's European Cup number 15. That's right, 15 for Real Madrid. Second best for much of the final against Dortmund, but they did what they do best. So does this cement Carlo Ancelotti as the greatest manager of all time? And as always, we'll end with some over